Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. Today's video is a follow-up from the stats review video of the new Austro-Hungarian Tier 5, apparently, battleship, the Viribus Unitis. Here we are in the Golden Channel map. We have a whole lot of Tier 6s on our team, a whole lot of Tier 6s on the enemy team. And I'm going to have to say that it feels very much like I'm in a Tier 4 ship size and hit points. So that health bar looks very full, but I would like you to imagine it that is a Tier 5 ship that probably should have about a quarter of it removed. Because the Viribus Unitis is a ship that is... its main defining feature or its superpower is not having enough hit points. So, yes. So here we are. We're going to take it into battle. Now, the right thing to do in a battleship is to contribute your hit points, such as you have, to the team by getting into the cap and helping to hold the cap. That Fubuki is not helping to hold the cap. I'm not sure what that Fubuki is doing. And I'm not really too inclined to shoot at him because I don't really want to draw attention myself. The only other superpower, I mean, the Viribus Unitis is fairly agile. As far as battleships go, agile being a relative thing. Also, it has got relatively good concealment comparative to other battleships at Tier 5, which is also a relative thing. Its concealment is not great. So here we are, going to let those torpedoes run their course. We have HE, and unfortunately I was hoping the first thing I'd see would be a dirty little destroyer, but instead we've got a dirty little Fuso over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this point of land. He's fired. That's great. His guns are facing in the opposite direction. I'll put some AP on the pipes. And we immediately get a fire, which is going to force some damage control. Wish I'd kept my HE because I suspect that that destroyer is probably, well, there you go. One fire just kicked off. Bear in mind that I'm likely to see more of those. Let's use our heal to help recover, and we take a decent swath of health from the Iron Duke. So we are not having a great start. There is going to be a destroyer coming around this point of land, and I don't have sufficient time in order to change my ammunition type. So, and we're taking a bit of a beating, showing a little bit too much broadside. So, yes, unfortunately, contributing our hit points to cap. I'm the only one in the cap. And we have some problems. So, right, we're going to try and... We've got the sonar, which is a very odd thing for the ship to have. But anyway, we will continue to employ that sonar as best we can. And we're going to try and steer ourselves on. There's way too many torpedoes, but we'll try and get off a revenge shot. Okay, so that is the Viribus Unitis. It is not a cap-holding battleship. Unfortunately, you know, I was trying to hold a point of land that was relatively secluded, but wasn't secluded enough. And the other ships, well, let's just see how this battle runs out. Because, okay, its lack of hit points are certainly telling. It doesn't have the greatest armor. I mean, it doesn't have the worst armor. It doesn't have the greatest armor. The enemy's slipping the cap, and all the effort I've put in, and my 17,000 hit points worth of damage, which I took 28,000 to get sunk, plus whatever the heal gave back to me, which probably wasn't a lot because it's a proportion of your total hit points. And we have these guys sailing around the islands on the edge of the cap in slow Fuso battleships. So, yeah, I really don't understand what the thought process is, to be fair, because really all that happens is that your big battleships and the front line is facing whichever place you are in. There is no flank on a circle. So, yes, I don't know what the attraction with avoiding the points massing area in the middle of the map is, but anyway, another red ship goes down, so far we're ahead by one ship, but we're down by a cap, and they're pretty quickly making up the gains that we initially made. These Fusos are firing HE in at these destroyers. which is awfully nice for keeping them at bay, but these are long-range shots and they're not clearing a lot of hit points. So down to our north, up to our north, in our home zone, we have a cluster of 2 ships doing... I'm going to have to say it looks like those ships are mating. Really, I don't understand what's going on up there. And our ships are... Well, that destroyer's making a bit of a go because the cap does look relatively empty. But that's only because we don't have anything to spot probably the masses of ships that are in there. So, anyway, let's follow this Fuso around. He is going to... and we lose... our destroyer, so sorry about that, guys, but yeah, I mean, that's what you get for trying to take the cap, I suppose. Oh, managed to get some torpedo hits in, which is good. So the good old Icarus, he went down, but he took the Bayern with him. The Königsberg, our Königsberg has taken down a Fuso. Lovely to see. Let's follow this Fubuki, this was the Fubuki that failed to get into the cap. I don't know how he managed to swing around the entire cap, because he was heading up to the left of the cap, but now he seems to have gone round entirely around the right side of the cap. He's heading in for this Iron Duke, obviously going in for the kill, and forgets that the Iron Duke actually is pretty much an AP murdering machine. Yeah, so they are down to 3 ships, a destroyer and what looks like a battleship and a cruiser, or a couple of battleships. We have 3 battleships and a cruiser remaining. They have the cap. This Iron Duke is trying to get behind the island, which is what I'd do in his situation. He's been set on fire. Their enemy destroyer reveals himself by putting an impressive amount of smoke there, but fails to save the Iron Duke, which obviously didn't have the alert party or the emergency response group. So let's just zoom out and see how... here they come, the torpedoes. Not enough to sink the Fuso, but the enemy held the cap for too long, and even though it was 3 ships to their 2, we go down, and yeah. Let's have a look at some scores. Okay. Right. Well, explains that Fubuki. That Fubuki has got 0 points done. He's got 1 capture point, so he must have been in there when we captured initially, so good on him for at least doing some work. So yeah, 1 ship killed, which was fortunately a revenge kill, 26 main battery hits, a whole lot of enemy fire to an overexposed Viribus Unitis, which has insufficient hit points to make the grade. So let's try again. This time we are in the New Dawn map. Now I'm going, fortunately for this, I can try and minimize my exposure to bad guy activity because, yeah, we've got some destroyers out the front. We've got the Nürnberg, which has got camo on it, which is always a good sign if your Nürnberg's got camo on it. The Bogue, well, it's a camo-less Bogue, but anyway, it's just a Bogue. Of course, I should be deadly afraid of aircraft because the anti-aircraft capability of this ship is, well, I wouldn't say non-existent, but negligible. Right, and here we go. We're heading in towards the capture zone. Our friendly destroyer takes it. Here we have an emerald, and oh, it's so tempting to take that shot, but I suspect that I'll probably miss with a few of them. And who knows, the emerald may actually do something like turn, and if he doesn't turn, well, someone else looks like he's going to take care of him. Oh, he's turning. Nicely done, and we'll give him some... We'll soften him up. Now, all those torpedoes may not have finished him off, but they did then. We'll slow down. Now, this ship does have the sonar, so if necessary, I can cook that off. But, yeah, hopefully someone else can deal with that destroyer because, oh, it looks like he's been dealt with. I didn't notice it at the time. So, obviously, he's been torpedoed by a friendly destroyer because I was concerned that I was going to get torpedoes launched into me. So, I am keeping an eye out. But, as you can probably tell from the little graph up the top, I don't really need to because there is a destroyer down the far end of the map. So the one down this end of the map has been nice and tidily taken care of. I'm going to point my nose in towards this ship, the Queen Elizabeth, because basically, although I have a lot of guns, I don't have a lot of health, and I don't really want to give a lot of broadside. So even if I lose half of my guns, well, it has to show a lot of broadside in order to get shots off. This Queen Elizabeth, of course, has identified that I am the new premium, the fearsome new premium Austro-Hungarian dreadnought, and is ignoring me and heading off and shooting at something else. So obviously the reputation of the ship needs, as a fearsome, a fearsome king of the seas, needs some work, because this Queen Elizabeth just doesn't really seem to care. Right, so, well, he's heading off, and he's heading off faster than I can catch up with him, so I'm going to have to play with something else. And it looks like this Bayern may be what I play with. Now, fortunately for me, I have two precise aiming, and let's cook it off. Now, unfortunately, the precise aiming lasts for 20 seconds. The reload on those guns is 22 seconds. So I could have pressed I could have pressed it 5 seconds ago, got the same result. So without all the stress of trying to press all the buttons at the same time. But yeah, okay. It looks like something's taken a bit of a pasting, that Queen Elizabeth in the distance. But this Bayern, let's get some shots into his schnoz. Up to 36,000 damage. Get some secondaries. Oh, I wish I was reloaded for this. Oh, look at that. Unfortunately for me, he does the turn before I can get everything off at him. We get some shots out. 2 hits, but unfortunately he survives. He's in a pretty bad state. Oh, the Bayern's also in a pretty bad state, and I suspect that someone else... Oh, I got some fires on him. That's nice to see. But the Fubuki takes him down, probably with gunfire. How's our friendly Omaha doing? He reckons he's got enough distance. Good on him. Yep. Well, you just keep thinking that, mate, and let's see how this goes. Okay. Well, dispersion's not too bad at extreme range. So there's always that. It is a small ship, so I don't know if people just mistake it for some sort of cruiser or something. Those are battleship guns. They don't do the greatest damage, even if you compare them with other battleships. They have similar caliber guns. Here we go. We've got a little long range shot there against this Queen Elizabeth. Shots out. Let's hope for the best. Everybody's been softening him up. No citadels, but enough smattering across the deck to take him down. One ship remaining, which is this nifty little destroyer here. That was the one down the far end of the map. He is coming back in to we'll try and grab some points, really. We've got all 3 caps. We have 5 ships surviving. They have 1 ship left. This is pretty much in the bag. A minute and 34 seconds. The ship just, here comes the Fubuki. We get some shots out. We've already loaded HE, which is, well, when we only know there's a destroyer left, 1 hit. Probably if I'd managed to get a little bit more accuracy on, could have netted myself a 3rd kill, but as it is, I'll have to settle for 2 in a battle star, which I got to say in this ship is, I wasn't expecting a battle star, so there you go. Take a screenshot of that, because it can happen. It really, it does feel like the ship is quite underpowered from the perspective of just, it's not resilient. So, how'd we do? 50,000 damage, not bad, 2 kills. 63 main battery hits, 7 secondary battery hits, 1 module's damage, 2 fires set. Good to see. Yeah, I don't think I'll be repeating that too often, though.